ハロー、ロジャーパパです。今回はニューヨーク、マンハッタンのど真ん中、ミッドタウンにあります。レバレッジ ETF で有名なディレクションの本社にお伺いできることになりました。といってもですね、案件ではなく、プライベートなつながりでお誘いをいただきましたので、こんな感じでですね、宿泊しているセントラルパークの近くのホテルから現場まで歩きながらですね、今回の取材の経緯を説明していきたいと思います。少し前にたまたま東京で開催されたある証券会社さんのパーティーに参加した時にですね、ディレクションのグローバルセールスの責任者、エドワードさんと話す機会があったんですね。で、ロジャーパパですって自己紹介をして、テニスが僕好きで、ロジャー・フェデラーからつけたハンドルネームなんですというふうに話したら、テニスがじゃあ好きなら、アメリカ来た時に一緒に US オープン見に行こうよという感じでもう本当に社交辞令で言ってもらえたんですね。でそれをもう本気にして、実は8月末にニューヨークに行きますので、ぜひ一緒に US オープン見に行きましょうってメールを送ったら、OK! じゃあレッツトークオンズームみたいな感じで、ズームで話そうみたいな風に言ってくださってですね。で、その中で今回、ロジャーパパの YouTube 用に取材も OK。そしてテニスの US オープンも一緒に見に行こうということでですね、それが今実現するという流れなんですね。なかなか実は日本にオフィスがないその金融の会社さんがですね、日本のしかも YouTuber と直接絡むって結構難しかったりするんですが、今回はあくまでプライベートな、ある意味テニス仲間という形でですね、特別に取材できることになりました。なかなかディレクションの、しかもグローバルセールスの責任者の方に直接レバレッジ ETF について話を聞ける機会ないですからね。レバレッジ ETF の意外な特徴も解説いただこうと思いますので、今回もですね、字幕にはなってしまいますが、ぜひ最後までご覧いただけると嬉しいです。といった感じで話していたらちょうど現場に到着をしましたので、それではもう早速ですね、エドワードさんの独占インタビューどうぞ。
And we discussed this a little bit before this interview, but your ETFs are so famous in Japan already, but you don't have office in Tokyo. Do you know why?
It's not just because of me, my recognizable face. Outside of that,
You come to Tokyo very often.
I think outside of that, a lot of APAC retail traders, particularly Japan, which is our second largest market in the APAC region, there are a lot of individuals that want to trade for themselves, want to express a short-term view, want that in a magnified type of approach. So they like to take risk. A lot of the same individuals that are traders of our vehicles use options or crypto or futures. So these are not for every investor. These are really for active traders that really want to trade from a short-term perspective and want to have a leverage or magnified view.
That makes sense. But we can trade like in Pro shares or Granite shares or other leveraged ETF.
Ooh, no, I'm just kidding.
No, those are nothing but they work with brokers too.
Yes.
But still, if you look at rankings of like SBI or Rakuten, your ETFs are in top 5, both brokers.
I think it's a matter of education. We have an APAC sales team. We work with the retail trading platforms on education. So I think that is where we've increased our visibility.
Since, I have you, I need to, get those information for my viewers. So my first question would be like, how do 3X bull and bear ETFs actually work?
Sure. Now, in the case of a 3X bull and bear, a couple of things to note. One is within all our fund names, we have the leverage point, we have the underlying index or single stock that it provides exposure to, and the word daily is in there as well. Why is that the case? Well, these are designed to track, in the case of 3X, a 3X return, whether magnified to the upside or opposite, if it's an inverse product, for a given single day. After one day, if you hold these past one day, there's going to be compounding. The leverage could work for or against you, depending on the path of that underlying benchmark or single stock during the time you hold it.
ここは極めて重要な3倍ブル、レバレッジ ETF の仕組みとなりますので、しっかりと理解をしておきましょう。例えば、100ドルを3倍ブルに投資したとします。1日目に基準となる指数がプラス 5% 上昇できたら3倍なので、プラス 15% の値動きになります。ここは大丈夫ですよね。ということは、投資額の100ドルは115ドルに増えます。手数料、経費、税金などはここでは一旦無視しますね。そして2日目に同じ指数がマイナス 5% 下落すると3倍のマイナス 15% の値動きになります。ただし、ここで注意しておかなくちゃいけないのは115ドルに増えた後 15% の損失が発生するので、これ97ドル75セントまで下落して元の100ドルを下回ってしまいます。これこそが複利による低減効果と呼ばれるレバレッジ ETF の注意点なんですね。1日目プラス 5%、2日目マイナス 5% と、2日間のこれ単純な株価の値動きの例ですが、行ってこいでも元本割れになっちゃうという複利効果の典型です。レバレッジが効いている分複利で元の指数からの乖離が大きくなってしまうんですね。ただし、その一方で、例えば同じようにですね、100ドルを3倍ブルに投資して、1日目に基準となる指数がプラス 5% 上昇し、プラス 15% の115ドルに増えた後、2日目もですね、ラッキーなことに同じようにまた 5% 上昇すると3倍のプラス 15% になりますよね。そしてここで注目なのは115ドルに増えた後のプラス 15% の利益になりますので、132ドル25セントまで上昇して、最初のプラス 15% よりも大きな利益を得ることができます。これが複利による定増効果と呼ばれるレバレッジ ETF 最大のメリットになります。といった仕組みを理解した上で、実際の株価の動き確認してみたいと思います。9月30日時点のトランプ関税ショックを含む直近1年の株価推移で見ていきたいと思いますが、まずこちらは半導体指数のチャートです。トランプ関税で大きく下落した後、しっかりと V 字回復できていますので、直近1年で見るとプラス 17.6% のリターンが出ています。ところがですね、この半導体指数の3倍に連動する SOXL の同じく直近1年のチャートを見ると、このようになっていてですね、なんとマイナス 5% の損失が出ている状況なんですね。つまりトランプ関税ショックが発生する前に3倍レバレッジ ETF の SOXL を買ってガチ保して、今なお1年保有を続けていた場合、複利の効果がマイナスに働いてしまう低減リスクが発生して、元の指数の3倍どころかマイナスになっちゃってて、暴落前の水準まで戻ることすらできていない状態なんですね。これ結構衝撃の事実じゃないですか。ただその一方で、関税ショックの底値からの上昇率確認してみると、半導体指数が 1.7 倍の上昇なのに対して、3倍レバの SOXL はというと、なんと 4.3 倍もの上昇を記録しています。SOXL の方が大きく上昇できてはいますが、それでも元の指数の 2.5 倍なので、やっぱり3倍には届いていませんね。これこそまさにエドワードさんがおっしゃるレバレッジ ETF は長期保有に向かない短期トレード向きの金融商品であるという証拠ですよね。では、こういった特性を踏まえて、僕ら個人投資家はどのようにこのレバレッジ ETF を活用していけばいいのか、エドワードさんにさらに聞いてみました。
So by knowing this, like who are leveraged ETFs really for? I mean, what kind of investors should it focus on this type of leverage ETF?
I'll change the description a little bit of the type of investor and change it to trader. Because these are really not investors, these are traders. So who are these appropriate for? Active traders who are monitoring their positions on a day-to-day basis, who have a high risk tolerance because these vehicles are high risk reward type of vehicles as well, and really need to understand the mechanisms of how these work before they should consider trading them.
So those leveraged ETFs is not like long-term holding. Every day, traders should look at what's going on their own account.
Correct. Whatever underlying index or single stock that you're trading, and whatever the magnified leverage is, you want to know if that following day or the day after that the trend's your friend. So if something's trending in your direction, no pun intended, therefore that leverage could work for you. So why do I look at this as every day's a new day? It's because the market every day may move differently. And as a result of that, you really want to be monitoring your screen and deciding whether or not that you should look to hold these for beyond a day, 2 days, 3 days. If you think that the market is going to trend consistently up without much movement to the downside for a given short period of time, then those vehicles could work for you. If you're in a bull fund, of course, if you're in a bear fund, you can have excessive losses. Again, the timing matters with this, and I can't stress this enough. It's path dependency, and the longer it takes for something to trend in your direction, whether it's you're in a bull or a bear, the more likely it is that you could lose money. And if you're on the wrong side of the trade where it goes against you significantly, you can lose a lot of money in a short period of time. So, especially in a 3 and 2x leverage type of product. So your viewers should be aware of that.
Because prices always go up and down.
Prices fluctuate. Nothing goes straight up forever, at least nothing I own.
Right.
But I can say this, that markets can be volatile at times. They can be choppy. You can have a situation, April, for example, of 2025. You had Liberation Day, and then you had President Trump in the United States declaring a 90-day moratorium. April had a lot of volatility, both to the downside and then the upside. Just to give you an example, that some of our triple leverage products that track the same index, bull and bear, were both down for the month of April. Why? Because of that volatility intra-month. So that's where the timing matters. You could have timed it right in terms of trading the bear side and then the bull side, but if you overstayed your welcome and you had such choppy, volatile markets, April was extreme in terms of that volatility, but a bull and bear of the same index, both were down in the case of April.
So which, like bull and bear, is harder to manage?
Both equally, because they both have the compounding and the timing issues, whether you're bullish or bearish. The one thing I will say about inverse or bear funds is that you can't lose more than your initial investment because these are packages in ETF. Now, for those clients that want to short or want to take a bearish view of the market, in a lot of cases, their accounts won't allow them to do that, or you could have unlimited liability to the upside because something could go up infinitely. But in the case of an ETF like ours, here's a way that you want to express a bearish view. You can do it in an ETF, and the most you can lose is what you put in. Now, another advantage of leverage is that you don't need a margin account in the case of the ETF. So if you're in a triple or double leveraged ETF of ours, you're getting for every $100, $300 worth of exposure, for example. For those that don't want to open up margin accounts, or because interest rates might be high and there's a significant cost of margin, here's a way to do it in a packaged ETF where you don't need the margin account.
Stocks goes up again. So do you think it's US market is kind of like overheated right now?
I would say certain segments of the market are for sure. The broad large cap stocks, whether the S&P or NASDAQ, are at record highs. It seems like the same 7 to 10 stocks, including the Mag 7, are driving those returns. So you would hope that the breadth of the market improves to where it's not just the select group of stocks that are generating the return. The other thing also is the VIX is right around 15.
Yes, very low.
Very low, and I think the market's a little complacent right now in general. I think it's been a risk-on environment. It continues to be. Look at crypto just off its highs, for example. So there's a little euphoria in the market, particularly when it comes to broader tech, semis, and AI in particular. What's interesting in the United States is that large caps have really been the main area in tech to be invested in. But if the Fed goes through with starting to change their stance and cut rates, small caps, which have lagged behind for quite a period of time, maybe it'll show some of the outperformance it's had in August and have some follow through to it, where it may become more of a leader of the market if we do get some actual Fed cuts. But that remains to be seen. So I think that the market, the U.S. market, is richly valued when you look at the mega cap and larger cap names in some cases. But I think there's still areas of opportunity, including small cap, because a lot of stocks really haven't participated as much in this rally. One of the things, though, with us as a firm at Direxion, we're agnostic in terms of the direction of the market. Why is that? Because we have the trading tools that people could decide from a trading perspective whether or not they want to take a magnified bullish or bearish view. So regardless of what happens in the market as a result of post-Fed meeting, we have the tools that people could take advantage of in either direction.
Yes, and you have many products as well. So meaning like we have many options as retail traders. So in that case, on SNS or even like financial media, so easy to access so much information always on our phone. So what kind of information we should focus on, especially when we trade in leverage ETF?
Well, certainly I would understand how they work. The daily reset of leverage, what does that mean? The path dependency, if you hold these beyond one day, what is the potential upside and downside to doing so? So having an understanding of how they work, and then also knowing the underlying benchmark, what's under the hood of it, what does it consist of? We get questions sometimes that people think that they're investing in an index, but they don't realize what it comprises of, or maybe had the wrong index. So you really need to know what's the index that you're considering trading, and what are the stocks that consist of that. And I would say that whether that's a leverage product or a non-leverage product for your viewers, know what's under the hood, so to speak. Know what the constituents of those stocks that make up any index represent. So you have a complete understanding for that.
I feel like more and more ETFs are coming in this market and also in the international markets as well.
Mm-hmm.
So now ETF is getting bigger than mutual funds.
Yeah, definitely. Well, in the United States, that ETFs have now been the primary investment strategy where the flows are going in. Mutual funds are losing assets, ETFs are gaining. But it's interesting, in Japan, from what I know, mutual funds are still the predominant investment vehicle, albeit that ETFs are increasing exposure there. So that's interesting to note with the Japanese investor. But we're seeing a lot of interest in our US-based ETFs.
I think we are 10 years behind.
I don't know about that, but at least there's interest in leveraging inverse ETFs and ETFs in general. So might be slow to adopt, but certainly a big market nevertheless. Now and hopefully in the future. So
that's why I'm doing this YouTube channel in the past 5 years.
They'll put up a chart 5 years from now, and they'll have Raja Papa and the proliferation of ETFs in Japan, and then they'll know who to thank for that.
I knew this is happening.
はい。ということで、レバレッジ ETF ディレクション、エドワードさん独占インタビューいかがでしたでしょうか？ブルとベアが両方マイナスになっちゃう時があったり、あとは元の指数が下落前に戻っているのに、レバレッジ ETF はというと、下落前に戻っていなかったりと、結構意外な特性もですね、理解できたんじゃないかなと思います。こういった本質的な特性もですね、しっかりと理解した上で、レバレッジ ETF うまく投資に活用していきたいですよね。 インタビューの後、エドワードさんと一緒にテニスの US オープンに行ってきました。しかも今回はなんとディレクションさんにご招待いただいてしまい、前からこれ5列目のめちゃくちゃいい席で世界ランキング3位のズベレフの試合を観戦してきました。もうものすごい迫力でめちゃくちゃ感動しました。まさかのロジャパパつながりでニューヨークにオフィスを構えるディレクションのエドワードさんのおかげで人生初グランドスラム観戦が実現するなんて YouTuber やっぱり夢がありますね。本当に。これからも次はじゃあフランス、そしてオーストラリア、さらにはウィンブルドンでもですね、こういったインタビュー、コラボの機会探っていきたいなというふうに思います。はい、ということで今回は以上です。エドワードさんとの独占インタビュー動画、ぜひ皆さんいいねボタンのタップと、まだチャンネル登録してない方はですね、今後もこういった特別独占インタビューをお届けしていきますので、今のうちにチャンネル登録をよろしくお願いします。今回も最後までご覧いただきました。本当にどうもありがとうございました。それではまた次の動画でお会いしましょう。バイバーイ。